Who are they?
I'm really all in for pro-war songs. That's me. That's kind of how that goes.
So they're back. Are they back?
System of a Down?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, I think so.
Well,
I shouldn't say unfortunately, but what was released in this past 24 hours has been, there's this one and then this genocidal humanoids, but they're like Rage, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're like Rage.
And this one, and they've got a real axe to grind. Yeah. And that is that there's this whole thing going on between Armenia and Azerbaijan. And they're Armenian, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So, man, do you remember there was some controversy on the first Fight Island that one of the fighters came out and Azerbaijan got pissed off because the UFC let him come out with the flag that he claimed was his national flag. It was actually the flag from this region called Artsakh or Nagorno-Karabakh is the region in NKR. Nagorno-Karabakh Republic is what that is. They've been fighting since the fucking early 90s, ever since the fall of the Soviet Union.
Wow.
But technically, Artsakh is in Azerbaijan territory, but it's full of Armenian minorities. So Armenia, that's where they've been going round and round at, and it's a fucking throwing hot lead down range kind of war.
Because of course I had no idea about this shit until System of a Down started talking about it. So kudos to them for at least bringing a little fucking light to the situation. But
pro-war, right?
God, that fucking it just all sounds really gnarly, and apparently that's what it takes to get System of a Down to come out and write a new song.
Yeah,
two to that,
right?
And like no fanfare beforehand. It's just like poop.
Right.
There they are.
Well, Serge has been really active in this, and I think it's kind of bummed out the rest of the band, if I'm not mistaken. To the point where there was some thought here like a year ago that was it. You were never going to hear anything from System of a Down again.
And that came from Shavo, the bassist.
Yeah. But apparently they all got on the same page, and I think things are escalating. It's a little easier to make things happen and get a whole bunch of people behind it when you can boil it all down to this or that, either or, blue versus red. Oh, did I make a political commentary?
Ooh, hey, oh, shit.
Did I make a political stink?
Funny thing is, speaking of that, fucking Serge, of course, I don't know if he's a Biden supporter, but he's certainly a Trump detractor.
Right.
And John, his brother-in-law and the drummer in the band, is a Trump supporter, which sounds weird to say, right?
Nah, not really. That guy wins like half the vote. That's the thing.
Well, I don't know. I just, for System of a Down, it's such a politically based fucking band.
It depends.
But world politics, not just what's going on in one particular spot.
Sure.
Unless it's in Armenia, then they will write a whole album about that shit.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. If you've got some shit going on and there's a way that the U.S. can put some money in its pocket or some oil in some barrels, we got your back.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
grease our back and we'll hop on yours and protect you in a wild fight.
Serge, I think, actually has an issue with Trump because the dude's lived here for fucking, 20-some-odd years now? Mm-hmm. So if you live here, Trump is a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. Although, good job, America. You fucking found a guy that's basically the same. And you're basically making them run against each other. And here we are like 4 days later. Nobody knows who the fuck's going to be president yet.
You think it'll go as long as the Florida recount? Like, what was that, 30-something days?
No, I really think it'll come out over the weekend. And they'll probably anoint Biden. Here's the whole thing is because how unpopular is Trump? There's a lot of Republicans that are like, if you're going to give us a little political capital on this and to distance ourselves from that guy, yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, it's time to bail.
All these people that are die hard. It's like want to go to war against the other half of this country. It's like, hey, where's all the Republicans at? Where's Ted Cruz? Like
over with the Dallas Cowboys fans being real quiet.
It's like I don't know if you remember there was an election in 2016 and the primary up to that point, fucking Trump was calling Ted Cruz all kinds of names.
Did he give Ted Cruz a good nickname?
Yeah. He didn't call him Lazy Ted. What was he? But he's fucking calling him something. Because Trump has a name for everybody, right?
I got to look that up.
Yeah. No, he had one for everybody he was running against in the primary, he obviously had, Lion Hillary or Cheatin' Hillary, whatever the fuck his name for her was. Lion Ted. It was Lion Ted.
It was Beautiful Ted.
Well, there's that one. But on the primaries 4 years ago, that guy was calling him Lion Ted.
Actually, the Beautiful Ted might have been the one he switched to.
Yeah, it could be. Because after you have like a real contentious primary, then you have to turn around, act like you're buddy with all these people.
No, yeah, Lion Ted. You called him Beautiful Ted and then Texas Ted.
Yeah. Lion Ted,
He's Beautiful Ted.
But people like that, you think they're going to fucking what? Go to bat for Trump now, after that shit 4 years ago? Probably
what
not.
you said about me, bitch?
Yeah.
No, fuck you.
Right. I think there's a lot of people on the Republican side of it. Now, I'm no fucking genius on this or anything, but I really do. I think there are a lot of Republicans that go, you know what? It'd be nice to get that guy out of there. And if they're going to give us a little extra something, I'll just sit back and let it happen.
Yeah. Right there is a time to just do nothing.
Yeah. But on the flip side, though, we basically go from Trump to Trump light. So,
well, we're trying to watch our calories.
I guess.
Watch our figure.
I guess. And damn it. And it's so aggravating because there are so many friends of mine, and I think I've already lumped them in to one demographic on this podcast before, and that is it's basically your gals in their 30s, white, of privilege, that are really there to help BLM because they're clearly not smart enough to run their own protests, right? That all they just want to finally see a woman get the vice presidential nod, It's like, well, you know what I did? I went out and voted for a woman, so I don't know where that puts me. Clearly, I'm heads and shoulders above you as far as being woke.
No shit, right?
Yep.
I mean...
And on top of that, it is ironic that she was the attorney general in California and was the one responsible for sending a whole bunch of people of color to prison for some bullshit that basically all came out of laws that were generated and written by fucking Joe Biden. I mean, if you're a person of color and you're found with a half a J on you, goodbye. You're going away for a while.
Yeah. It's funny. At my job, I'm on the final tier of my learnings, and we're hitting college shit level. All of a sudden, it talks about that. It talks about especially how in the 50s, it really started to be utilized by African Americans and fucking oh god damn it.
Oh,
the other one.
Well, 40s and 50s. I mean, that's when they started calling them jazz cigarettes because they're about the only people that usually in white society that would be seen smoking marijuana, usually people in jazz bands.
They called it the opium of the poor.
Yeah. Well,
and now we're selling it for $12 a gram.
Not to be confused with Karl Marx calling religion the opiate of the masses, but...
No, this was opium. It was basically like, here's heroin for poor people.
They said the same thing about gin back in the late 1700s.
Well, gin's disgusting. That should be taken off the shelves.
Yeah, well, if that tells you anything about the hard liquor they had back in those days.
Yeah, I can understand why times were tough. The liquor was horrible.
Yeah, and they're getting angry because people would wake up in the morning and start slamming some gin before they'd go to work, and
Ew, gross.
I don't know. It's better to put a little spring in your step, though.
I guess, yeah, but you make your breath smell like shit.
Not really. Just make your breath smell actually all right, yeah?
Really?
I mean, with all the herbal shit you have to put into gin. Certainly
juniper
better than
berries as a primary.
But could you imagine the fucking breath of somebody from back in those days? Fuck that.
Back when oral hygiene was suggested, not really.
Why don't you go ahead and throw back a little gin? Maybe give a little swoosh around the mouth first. Once up and over them picket fences of yours.
Don't worry, you don't have to spit it out. Just swallow it. Swallow it whole.
Well, nothing like jumping right into politics, but it is a Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast where we get together apparently whenever the fuck we feel like it and lay out a little show for you people.
That's why we're happy.
We were going to do one last week, and we just decided, you know what? Nah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Honestly, I wasn't feeling it at all.
Well, and it was your idea. It's like, hey, let's do one on Halloween. Well, as soon as you were out, I clearly had no intention.
All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute. I actually want to get a little fucked up for Halloween Saturday. And it's like, it wasn't, and we really didn't have shit to talk about.
Right.
I mean, The pay-per-view was 2 weeks ago now.
I find them a little better being able to put together kind of some thoughts if I give it a rest.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, man. You have a 9-to-5 where you're on.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, here we're just shooting the shit.
Right.
But still, we got to have shit to talk about. Or else we can just, talk about past love conquests or something.
Yeah. Speaking of love conquests, well, love conquers all. And the only, amongst the three of us that do this podcast, me, you, and LJ's the only one that's married. And I'm all right with going ahead and checking in on his segment. I understand actually a little bit of an issue on the audio. If you're listening through headphones, it's going to be a problem. There's a little clickety snack in the back, right?
But it should be fine. It should be fine. It should be covered up by LJ's rockin' ways.
All right, let's go and check in with him bright and early right here at the front of the podcast this time around. Well, LJ, find out what's going down low down on the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast.
Good morning, LJ.
What's up, everybody? LJ here, your happier than normal metal enthusiast who's very enthusiastic about reading the metal update here on the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty and also check out what metal releases are out, why we may or may not be getting high as dog shit listening to them. Alter Bridge, new album, Walk the Sky 2.0 EP. I've heard of them, but I've never heard their music consciously, so I'm probably a fan after hearing this. It sounds really cool. It's fucking heavy, and it's got some cool riffage in it. Also, I saw their music video to one of their songs, and it was pretty fucking cool. What song, you ask? Why, Wouldn't You Rather? Which you should probably check out. It's actually really fucking good. I like the frontman's guitar work and also the little things he does while he plays guitar. It looks kind of cool. Next band on my list is Lords of Black. The album is called Alchemy of Souls. And I've never heard this band before, but you learn a lot of stuff about a band by the YouTube comments, and they have a very massive fan base so far. And they got this cool build-up, and it's like this... Honestly, their sound really reminds me of The Dark Element and Nightwish, which is... It's a common theme with these newer bands that have a female vocalist and orchestral stuff in the background, so... Like, not a techno version, but like... Just this like this kind of driving guitar riff, and then that drum. So yeah, it's nothing I haven't heard before, but it's something that I like to listen to. A bunch of other bands have done it before, so I'm not hating. I think it's not bad. It's not great. It's just not bad. However, I will say that the vocalist kind of sounds really operatic, and it's a dude. I was deceived into thinking it was a chick. It was not a chick. I need my hearing checked. Or maybe I don't need my hearing checked, because the next band on the list is Tesseract. The album is called Altered State. Now, I'm not the pickiest reviewer out there, but like, I expect a payoff whenever you listen to some bands, especially metal bands, if you call yourself such. There should be like a soft open if you play acoustic, and then, you come in heavy. This band takes forever to come in heavy, and when they do, it's not really like in your face heavy. It's just like kind of in the back soft distortion and a dude singing or whoever, and I don't like it. I mean, it's probably great. The comments are all like, this touched my soul, or I listened to this in the winter and it turned to summer. Like, whatever, it's cool, but I could just imagine Kevin sitting there chuckling while I'm sitting here bitching about this band going, you fucked up when LJ doesn't like your music. Damn, that guy likes everything. And I do mostly like everything, except black metal. But yeah, it's a little soft to be considered metal and not groovy enough to be considered rock. So I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Loudwire. But anyways, yeah, not a fan of Tesseract's Dark. So anyways... go ahead and buy it or stream it, or if you don't, then you can go fuck yourself, as Kevin would say. So, I'm going to be the guy who's douchey enough to say, if you'd like to make Kevin an impersonation, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, and maybe I'll do rage one day, eh? Yeah. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, next band. Sorry, Kevin. I'm just fucking with you. The band is called Fate's Warning. The album is called Long Day, Good Night. Now, you guys remember earlier in the review when I was saying a long build-up has to have a good payoff? Well, this band knows what the fuck I'm talking about. and they went ahead and their album kicks ass. By the way, the first half of the first song is like real slow, and the build up is gradual. But then they fucking just let loose and kick you in the face. See, that's what I'm talking about. And that's another reason I love doing this podcast so much, is I discover all sorts of bands I would never normally listen to in my daily grind. And I think it's cool as fuck. All right, next band. We'll do one more, and then we'll turn it back over or end the show, or however they want to do it. So finally is Serma, the Light Within. I gotta tell you, this actually is really good too. It's orchestral metal, and there's a female vocalist, and it's 42 minutes of them just playing their hearts out, and it's pretty fucking cool. I went in with extremely low expectations, and I gotta tell you, doing that actually kind of sometimes pays off. You discover some cool music that way. 2020 has really been the year for music, especially thrash, but in this particular case, yeah, musicians are really bored, so they're putting out some really good shit. So get out there, fill up your phones with some new shit, buy some CDs, probably order a CD rack offline so you can like put all your new CDs on that I helped you pick, by the way, and without anyone else's help. So thank you, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and by the way, I do have an update on Dreamcatcher. So the album is done, and right now I'm just touching it up to make sure it looks pretty. I'm trying to get physical copies done and all that stuff. I'm also going to announce the release date whenever I come to it. And I was jamming the album all last night, just jamming KBX. I think that if you're a musician, you have to fan yourself to an extent. Not obsessively, but to the point where you enjoy making the music and you like making the music and it sounds good, And so that's my advice of the day. If you're a solo artist or a band, I think you guys should just play what you like. And if nobody else likes your music except you, then, well, make better music. Or go for a gimmick like Kiss or Alice Cooper or Slayer or something. Okay, laters.
So that guy, even frustrated, that guy sounds a lot happier than we are.
I don't know. I feel like I'd give him a run for his money now.
Yeah, well, that's true. You're actually Johnny Go Lightly these days, aren't you?
It's weird, isn't it? Isn't it
a little
weird?
Spring in the step, a little. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working harder. I'm working more.
I haven't seen anybody that happy since back in the old Disney rendition of Jonathan Light Tremaine.
Oh God.
Like,
Maybe
what a happy
people.
fellow. What a happy fellow he is.
Life is good. What can I say? Bought a bong today.
Yeah. A bond?
A bond.
Oh,
I've made a bond with a bong.
Yeah.
In the street talk water pipe, and spent about $100 on it.
Wow.
But 75 of that was provided by my, hey, you've completed tier 1 of your training. Here's $75.
Not bad.
And I made $25 today doing deliveries.
Oh, okay.
So it cost me fuck all nothing.
So free $100 bond going your way.
It's
All
a
right.
sexy little bitch.
Right.
I'm going to name it something.
Name it Donnie, because that's kind of your attitude now. It's Steve Buscemi's character out of Lebowski. Nothing but happiness right here.
Can't call Walter Sobchak.
Well, I don't think you want a device to, have
that's called a meth pipe.
I don't think you want a device that has the attitude of that guy.
It's like really kick-ass sativa. You throw it in there, you might get a little bit of that Sobchak energy.
Shomer Shabbos.
God damn it, Donnie!
Mead for this week, believe it or not, we actually do have an update. We have some Cobalt Blue bottles on the way. We, apparently, now I've been ordering shit pretty regular from Amazon.
Yeah.
I did not order the bottles through them because nobody wants to give me that prime delivery rate, right?
Cunts.
Yeah. So I went straight through Midwest. That's fine. But, man, it's about the case of a cost of bottles in order to for the shipping.
Wow, man, that's...
There is the way I was getting around it. The only way around it now is to spend a lot of money because you start getting free shipping at $150.
Right. So basically that means that there will be no free fucking gratis bottles.
No free gratis, yeah.
No free gratis.
Which is okay. But those will be in. We'll get Troublemaker bottled. I think we got Ruben, working on the label or at least some kind of graphic.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's where that one's at, which is good, just in the nick of time, because batch 1 is getting a little on the low side. What I want to do when we run that barrel out is I want to go ahead and give it a purge, but I want to have another batch just standing by.
Sure.
Which means I got to go out and get more honey. The problem is that we're getting low on fermenters because I've broken 2 of them now.
Well, 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been 5 long years since we've been using the initial implements.
And technically, really all I got to do is give it about another 2 weeks, and then we can move Green Man. Green Man got started, by the way, as well.
Correct.
Just letting you know, we've been getting work done. So for all of you think we've been doing nothing but sitting around with our head jammed in our ass like we're
You're half right.
with the American public. Yeah, no, we've been getting some good work done here, some good deeds. So Green Man is underway. I'm doing a little bit differently this time. I'm putting the raw green chili that was left. This is hardship chili. That shit got hit by the snow we had.
Yeah, that's an angry bitch.
Yeah, so got that one going, but I'm putting that through primary. And then once we move over to a carboy, the next stage, which normally we'd just put it into another bucket. I don't have that liberty. We're down to a single bucket now, which I can fix that by buying more, but it can wait.
We can make it work.
So I'm going to move that over to a carboy and then add through like a long, narrow hop sack and put into, God damn it, might just be better. Might be better for me to go ahead and, I'm going to have to give that a tink. I might go ahead and give it because I want to do roasted and put roasted green chili into the secondary fermentation, because your initial, the thing that usually drives some people away from our green chili outside of just heat, which I get it, they didn't care for last year's batch because it was all raw green chili.
Yeah.
And a lot of the feedback I got was like, yeah, there's no smokiness. Yeah, I know. There's a reason for that, but okay. And this year I decided, well, I'm going to do a combination of fresh and roasted. All right, we've already got the fresh ones in, and it's only just a couple of chilies.
Yeah, we're taking that out tomorrow, right?
I think so.
Because it'll be a week tomorrow.
Yeah.
A Halloween batch.
Where I'm kind of trying to scratch my ass and rub my head, or maybe I have that backwards. I think might be the green chili. We should probably, the roasted side of it, we might want to do that tomorrow as well. I know technically it's still running it through the primary, but if we give that about a week, and then next week we move it to a glass carboy.
Right. Well, the problem with that, getting that smoky hit right in the pocket, is we have no idea what the proper window of time is to keep that in there and then take it out.
Well, technically you don't. Technically, I found the best batches of Green Man are where we add, not even the green chili, the roasted green chili. We add the green chili, the fucking juice off of it, right?
Basically.
That's where
that's where all the smokiness is.
That's where all
really
the flavor and smoking. Man, we had added the first year I think we did Green Man. I think we had 2 fucking pounds of green chili. You couldn't taste fuck all in there. It tasted like batch 1. I added the juice off of the shit, and then suddenly, oh, there it is.
Hello, green chili.
So I realistically think we can do that tomorrow. I just think we have to really monitor and not go overboard. Walk it up rather than go, fuck, we added too much.
Yeah, because there's no going back after that.
There's a way to do it, but it'd be a pain in the ass. And that would be, we'd have to rack it out to 2 different carboys and then make basically a batch 1 and thin it down. It's not easy.
So we got to get it right.
We have to get it right.
Yeah, we can do it.
So
we're smart.
So Green Man, sometimes. Green Man on the way. We'll be starting another batch 1 soon to take the place of long ships, basically. Well, actually, that's only long ships because it was batch 1 that Oak turned it into what it is.
Dude, amazingly so.
I don't drink a lot of our product. I was drinking quite a bit of mead last weekend.
Dude, that's why I'm shocked. Like, I can't remember exactly when it was open for business on that thing.
In August. We already had it in the barrel before we went to Colorado, and that was in, early September?
Early September, yeah.
So probably before Labor Day.
Late August?
Probably mid to late August.
Okay.
Probably.
So after about, say, 1-2 solid months of having us some beverages out of that thing.
It's really nice to just have there, and hey, people want to throw us a little voluntary little buck here and there or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, basically, like the day when we had a big old group over. Ooh, I hope the governor's not listening. Had some friends over, and I just threw some money in there. I'm like, drink what you want, folks.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I'm a happy guy now.
And it's really nice to be able to do that, which makes me almost at the point of like, well, fuck, let's hurry up and get some more of that shit going.
Right.
So I'm, we're just, the problem is we're kind of up against it with fermenters. Having said that, we could do a batch one. We could do a batch one and start it in a carboy.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because we wouldn't be adding shit.
There's nothing in there. Yeah.
It'd all be powder
Yeah.
that we'd be adding.
Right. Maybe that's
right.
maybe that's an angle to go. Of course, I don't like wrestling those great big bastards, but hey.
Yeah, well, we got to stay in shape somehow.
5 gallons of blown glass.
I feel like I just said we got to stay in shape somehow.
We got to stay in shape.
Somehow.
But anyway, that's the Mead update for the week, and pretty excited about it.
Yeah, man. Me too. I'm really looking forward to Troublemaker.
Yeah, we'll have that probably actually 1 week from right now.
I'm already buying 5 bottles.
Which I don't know if we're doing a podcast a week from today. I think we're kind of really hitting our market every other week. But we will, by the time we have another podcast, we will have that shit in the Cobalt bottles, and it'll be ready to rock and roll.
Next podcast, I'll be drinking Troublemaker.
And I know people are always asking, it's like, well, what are you charging? I'll reapproach this again. We don't charge anything, but we need a little money for our efforts because we're putting that to our band work.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm selling you a bottle outright? By parlance of the New Mexico Commerce ordinances and codification.
Mexico Commerce Ordinance.
Yeah.
You made that sound real official.
Well, I can't remember exactly what it is, but
That sounds better.
Technically, no. It's donations, and we'll throw you some, and that some is probably maybe going to be a bottle of mead. Maybe.
Yeah, might be a hug.
Maybe a hug. Probably.
Yeah.
Depending on who you are.
If it's a lot of money, it'd be a double-hander.
Yeah. I might just have to join my hands behind your back and interlace my fingers.
Just let them sit.
Yeah. And if you're a man, even more so.
Oh, that's right. You're getting it right on the ass. Not in it, but on it.
Just to make sure you're paying attention. Can't go get too trustworthy of the folks around the meter here. I'm teaching you a lesson. We'll get that up and going. I do think on the Troublemaker side of it, man, if you're grabbing 5 bottles, I think, because I want to go on that a little bit of a premium because it's fucking been taking up real estate since January.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to bring us a fucking who is on the fucking? Is that a Benjamin?
I think it's Al Gore.
The inventor of the internet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing this. I got a C note already put aside, ready for this day.
Yeah, I think that generally that's how you get 5. Because I think that if you got a 50, I'll let 2 go. But this Troublemaker is going to be one of the best batches we've ever had.
From the nips that we've had, and granted we haven't had a nip in a while, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's the most beautiful batch since I would say probably the first one. I don't know if that had anything to do with the cobalt bottles, pouring out. It looked really golden, really beautiful.
Well, the first one we were just really, really happy because we were able to pull that out of our ass to make it happen. And it turned out being actually a much better batch than we were afraid it was going to be.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I remember it as just bringing it out of the fire.
It is literally not one of our best batches we've done. I think because of the fact it was only the second batch we'd ever done, our first one that was flavored, we were extra fucking worried about it.
Right.
And it turned out being actually something that was very drinkable, highly drinkable. Was it the best we've ever done? No, but nostalgia requires you to remember it that way.
Yeah.
This will probably absolutely be one of the best batches we've done.
Oh, absolutely. By looks and taste already, it's like fucking blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
And Troublemaker's my guy.
Right. And we got about 3 weeks until Holly King 2018 will be cracked open again.
The mighty unveiling. Can't wait.
It's fine, but that one is one. If you're interested in that one, let's talk. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But because that one I'm not going to put any kind of a price point on. But Troublemaker, man, if you're wanting to walk away with 5 bottles like Brandon, you best be number 1, be local. Number two, bring a Benjamin with you or an Al Gore, depending on what's on there.
You bring an Al Gore, you're getting.
You bring an Al Gore, you're getting a couple of Lincolns. I'm talking about 5s.
God damn it. We should just stop now.
That's it. See you assholes in 2 weeks.
Why are we still doing this? You close out. You don't want the crowd to hate us. Oh, goddamn.
But I think that's sufficient for the Mead side.
Oh, yeah, totally. I think that's the most we've talked about Mead in a long time.
Yeah, well, it's exciting because we got 3 different batches to talk about, and that is a Troublemaker batch. Technically 4 if we're talking about batch 1, Green Man, and the starting of another batch 1 in order to be able to replenish longships, you know?
Yeah.
So technically 4 batches is what we're talking about today.
Ooh, and they're all delicious.
Moving along the metal side, granted, I know we touched base with LJ and got his take on what's going on for metal releases on the week. We'd started off this show with fucking System of a Down. And a lot of people commenting going, wow, who knew that 2019-2020 would be best ever? Because we had Tool last year, Deftones dropped a new record last month, and here we get System of a Down, 2 new tracks.
Yeah. However, that first one that had the accompanying video, that was good. Protect the Land.
Yeah.
That is a good song. For being the first new System of a Down to drop in 15 fucking years.
Yeah.
I was working at Hastings when the last time System of a Down put out new music.
I was working, right where I am now. That's right.
Ooh. It's like, well, Kevin just left. But that second one, man, they really tried to recapture the fucking magic of that first self-titled album, and they failed.
Genocidal Humanoids, the second track. And my problem is this, and that is that I'm not a big System of a Down fan. I was like the first and second records, right? Listen to the 2 drops that they had in the last 24 hours. I'm not a fan of either one. Certainly not a fan of the second one, though. Protect the Land, it's fine. I think it's a little, it gets redundant real fast.
Well, System of a Down music is about repetition.
Sure. Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
but
that has been their fucking golden boy.
But don't they usually have like a riff that's a really good riff, really solid, and everything builds around that riff? It feels like they did it backwards on this. It feels like the riff fills itself into what they were trying to do lyrically. Now
you're dealing with a band that's fractured. I don't think they wanted to do this. I don't think they wanted to get together and make music. They're doing this for what we were discussing earlier. Yeah. They're doing it for that.
So you don't think that this is any kind of a stage or a platform that they're using to get themselves to where they're going to have a new record release by next summer?
If 2021 is the year System of a Down puts out an album in September, 1, if you say it, I'll believe it. 2, I don't think you're going to say it because I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think the jury's still out on that.
The 2 songs are on Bandcamp right now. Right. System of a Down has songs on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have a record deal. Clearly not if they haven't made an album 15 years.
Yeah.
So they're putting it out on their own, which is good because they'll reap the benefit. And all the money, it says right here, the funds from Bandcamp plus pre-orders of our new merch collection.
Ah.
Like, oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. 15 years, and you're getting a mediocre song, a shitty song, and some T-shirts.
Hey, that's how a lot of bands stay in business this day. Yeah, you know.
God, well, I can remember when I first thought in my brain I wanted to form a band. I had the logo, the merchandise. I had everything set, except for the talent to actually do the fucking music.
Well, that's not held back a lot of artists nowadays. So.
I know. I was born too late, man. If I'd been born in 2000, I'd be a musical fucking genius. People be calling me Skrillex, whoever the fuck that guy is.
I've been running around getting weird things fucking waxed into chest hair and, weird logo from the band. And
do you think dubstep is dead?
Dubstep's dead.
Or at least it's not here at a national level anymore?
I think I think anybody that was involved in that, they've kind of moved over to some a little more like Degent, right?
I don't know. I don't follow shit.
I kind of think that's the direction it kind of went. It's just getting more and more cluttered.
Yeah.
I'm not a real huge fan of that. And there is a difference between of how you put your tracks into the mix. One of my favorites is Moon Sorrow. And I get it when you say, God damn it, I can't hear what they're doing right through this section with that particular guitar work. And I'll say, yeah, I know. Because it comes out of that and it bursts forth like a phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah, go to Huto, man. Right there is a great example.
But Degent hides everything. I mean, it's a little weird to me.
Because you can't get it at the forefront. It's fucking ridiculous 7 to 9 string guitar work, and a drummer that's basically mimicking your guitar hits to his bass kicks.
Right.
So already you're kind of overwhelmed.
It's
bass guy's probably just doing the same thing, and you might have a keyboardist, maybe.
Yeah.
And then you got a singer that goes from screaming to beautiful singing to screaming to beautiful.
And don't you get the feeling like almost every Degent act that's still out there right now is probably going to become a prog act in the next 3 or 4 years?
I don't think it'd be that big of a stretch to already call it prog.
I think a lot of them
A
do.
subsect for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that is some fucking... The time signatures are all over the map.
Yeah, but you get a little sloppier Degent stuff, though, and it's like, well, that's clearly never going to be prog, you know? I mean, because prog musicians, talk shit about them all day. That's fine. But they are good at what the fuck they do.
Oh, fuck yeah. I like... When Periphery put out that 4th fucking album, very rarely does a band that late in their career fucking eclipse and surpass... I think their second album is probably their biggest one at that point as far as success. This one was great on both fucking sales, and it was a good fucking album.
Yeah.
Then Corona hit.
Yeah, that's it. And then likely fucked everybody who's wanted to catch any live shows for a year and a half. All right, it's been some time now. What, over a month, I guess? So where do you sit with Ohms now? Deftones.
I'll be honest. It has kind of fallen off my playlist a bit, except on weekends.
I found there are 3 tracks I really like. And everything that's not those 3 tracks, they faded a bit for me.
Okay.
The 3 tracks in order, Urantia is one. Radiant City would be another, and Headless would be another. Now, having said all that, I do still appreciate Ohms. That's the last track, right?
Yeah.
I can appreciate it for what it was, and it does really tie in a lot of your different sounds from throughout that entire album. But
well, Chino was right when he said Ohms is the culmination of everything that album's about, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah. So having said all of that, there are a few that have faded a bit for me. I'm not as excited about them as I used to be. And I don't know if it's just simply because it kind of it gets easy to forget about some of them because the excitement level's gone.
I think that goes with any album, though, dude.
But I do think, though, is that, you know, when you give an album a month or more and you're listening to it pretty regularly, you start really finding what you like and what you don't like.
Oh, absolutely. And very rarely will it be like, God, this thing is as kick-ass as it was the day I heard it.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
I've been listening to fucking Fear Inoculum for about a year now.
Now, Fear Inoculum is the one that for me is still it's fun.
T to B.
As long as I haven't heard it in a few weeks, I can throw that thing on a Saturday morning and just crank that shit up as I get stuff down here around the house
and
done.
Just let it go.
You know, what was another one I was excited about the year before that? Allison Chains. Rainier Fog, it's still, I don't play it as much as I used to, I will say that. But, man, there are still some really, really great tracks off of that.
Sure.
And I've even evolved it a little bit because Red Giant was one of my favorites off of that. I wouldn't put Red Giant as one of my favorites right now.
Okay.
But that's because it has evolved a little bit for me. I really think, and here's another one, because one of them I was kind of like take it or leave it, used to be, was Drone. Drone has actually maybe worked its way into one of my top 3 off of that one now.
Yeah.
But it has been a couple of years. And I always like to kind of touch base with things I consider to be really epic records, and how are those holding up for you? You know, those epic ones would be Rainier Fog, you know, Allison Chains. It'd be Fear Inoculum with Tool and Deftones with Ohms. That's kind of your 2018, 19, 20 variants.
And some things have come in between that have been pretty kick-ass. Some
Sure.
have been extremely disappointing.
Right.
But, I really like liked that song, The Spell of Mathematics, that was on Ohms.
Yeah.
And then I didn't listen to it for a couple weeks. And then I went back to it, and I was like, well, it's fine. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like I'm afraid to say I don't like it.
I think I had an opposite kind of a thing, because I was not a fan of that one. That was like maybe my least favorite. You know, that or the Link,
Link is Dead?
Yeah. Toss up between those two as far as the ones that I would have rated the lowest on the day that album dropped. Mathematics is back. It's kind of it's outside of my top 4 looking in, but it's there.
So you would say that chart is always moving.
It does. It depends on my mood. Depends on the fucking week I've had. It depends if it's been a long time since I'd heard any of those tracks. I mean, there's a lot of variables.
Oh man, I'm really worried about what the next album of 2021 is going to be. Maybe Mastodon.
It's about time for me to start focusing and getting my shit dialed in.
You are the Green Wizard. You need to start using your powers for good.
I don't know. I've only been right 3 years in a row, so who knows?
Oh, can't you use your... Oh, fuck that. Don't use your power for good. Use it for something else.
Use it for something useful.
I can pull 10 in the future.
Yeah, we'll see. Mastodon's about the one thing with Mastodon, though, is those guys are really professional, and there you don't have any qualms or issues or hang-ups about putting out new music. They don't have it.
I think they're hitting the studio in November this month.
Yeah. Yeah, that would put them at about a turnaround. Well, that'd be just about September next year, but we'll see. I mean, if it, for full master and everything else. Now, then again, on the flip side, though, is the reason a lot of that shit takes so long is a lot of bands are out touring. Well, guess who's not touring right now? Oh, that'd be virtually fucking anybody.
Devin Townsend did kind of a cool thing. I mean, he still broke my heart, but I still have to respect the man for what he has done. And he did like a Halloween concert, but it was all green screen, of course, but it was all done in like Unreal Engine.
Okay.
And
that's a video game.
That's what for you laymen, that's a video game engine. And so he's basically like playing in these weird fucking spooky settings, and would have like Gene Hoglan, who was his drummer in Strapping Young Lad, came by. He fucking recorded himself.
Just dropped by like it's a fucking Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Well, technically, I mean, they just fucking dropped him into the video because they'd recorded him playing it, and then he was on a green screen. Then they just fucking plugged him in. Devin Townsend was just fucking playing. The only live thing was guitar and his vocals, because everything else was already because he recorded everything except the drums.
Does he not know that Mike Portnoy's not really doing anything right now?
And that's a man that loves to work.
Yeah.
He left the band he loved because he's like, well, I love Dream Theater, but I also love working.
I like to work. I like to play children's drum sets. I like to do fun things on the YouTubes.
Oh, shit.
All right, let's move right along to MMA, unless you got some other metal things of note.
Let's see. Hold on a second.
Because sometimes you have some things poked away.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I haven't really been looking because I've been too busy enjoying myself and enjoying this happy joy I have. But the keyboardist of Deep Purple.
Yeah, John Lord. Well, Ian Pace.
Don Airey.
There you go. Okay. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Apparently, on Judas Priest's Painkiller album, which I'm not a huge Judas Priest fan, but that is, in my opinion, their best album.
Okay.
He was the fucking bass player on it instead of Ian Hill.
Oh. Huh.
I was like, oh, okay. And Don Airey, I mean, that guy's only been in Deep Purple, I think, almost 20 years.
And it's funny you brought that up because there was something I'd absolutely forgotten about until today. Talking about Ian Pace, that's why I started laughing, because he was the lead singer. But he and John Lord and another guy, the last name of Ashton, they had a band. It was Pace, Ashton, Lord.
Sounds like a fucking lawyer firm.
Yeah, well, they're British. What are you going to do? But it literally, and I had forgotten that those three had put out. I mean, they had Malice in Wonderland was their one of their big record, that one in live in London. But they did. They were doing a lot of outside Deep Purple kind of shit.
Okay.
So I'd forgotten about those guys, and I think it's primarily because, unlike, I don't know, Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, they didn't have that same success. Richie Blackmore, virtually by attribution of his own fucking personality, made that band what it was. And everything that Richie Blackmore touches, it's because of an unswerving loyalty to the music and being the biggest asshole rock and roll has ever had.
Ooh, that's a fucking hard title to have and hold on to.
Well, he has. Richie Blackmore's he's that guy.
Even like, let's see, I'm trying to think.
I mean, he was never in a band with David Lee Roth at the same time, because that really would have been,
But I guess David Lee Roth was an asshole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I guess that would probably also make... shit. What about Axl Rose?
Axl Rose is definitely an asshole.
Yeah, but a bigger asshole?
He might actually be bigger than Dave, only because the fact is at least David Lee Roth would still, if you got the band to sign on the dotted line, you were getting a show.
Yeah.
Axl Rose, you may or may not get a show. It doesn't matter if the contracts are signed.
Fucking James Hetfield turned into the Human Torch in Canada during the Black Album tour. Axl and Guns N' Roses had a chance to save the day while Hetfield fucking fought for his life as his skin boiled off his bones. Nah, we ain't gonna do this.
Axl's like, no. Clearly says on our contract we're gonna start at this time, and yeah. That's why
you were the fucking main event because it was a co-headliner.
Right.
So some days fucking Metallica would fucking close shows. Some days GNR would. This was the day GNR was supposed to.
Pyrotechnics and rock and roll really not far behind drug abuse, right? For kind of issues that bands have had.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't imagine being over one of those pots when they go off.
No.
I can only imagine just lighting myself on fire, probably about the same thing. Or setting myself in front of a goddamn welding torch for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Axl Rose is such a cunt.
Yeah. What else you got this week?
Let's see. Goddamn. It really has, well, it's not really a great story, but a fucking story about Adam Jones and his fucking signature guitars is a little bit of a goddamn bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gibson, they manufacture all their Les Pauls and all that shit out of Nashville. So they made two different series of the Adam Jones Les Paul and Silverburst. You had your VOS and then the more expensive one, which is basically ideally the same as what Adam Jones plays. At least that's the selling point from Gibson, because Silverbursts were so limited in number back in 1979 anyway. Adam Jones swears by it that they play differently than any other Les Paul, and he says it's because of the paint utilized in the finish. I think you reach a certain level of crazy if you start to really believe that, but it's fine. Basically, the difference, about $4 or $5 grand. The VOS models, those were $6 grand. The one that are all the way down to every last detail identical to Adam Jones's stage fucking guitar is almost $11 grand.
Damn.
And
God damn.
Yeah, and stopping off in Whitefield, Indiana, on its way to Sweetwater, taking that shit up to Fort Wayne, so that way they can break them all out, do their 50-point inspection, blah, 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 and all this other shit, certify it, and then box it up, rebox it, and then send it to their customers. That was the plan. They hit Whitefield, Indiana at a roadway inn for some fucking reason, or a travel center or something like that, travel lodge.
If you're fucking carrying that much money in anything, you don't go to shit hotels.
Yeah.
You go to hotels like people like me work at.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not exactly a teamster here, but I mean, how fucking hard is it to drive from Nashville to Fort Wayne? And I don't know, a day. That's just,
That's not really that far a drive, right?
It is not. I mean, now granted, back east,
south and a little east, right?
you can't make time on the roads back there because they're all designed, way back when.
And it's not like interstate's a straight shot either.
Yeah, no, there is no straight Nashville to Fort Wayne, but you can still make that shit. The whole thing just kind of leaves me scratching my head a little bit. But somebody stole an entire pallet with what? 5 of the really expensive signatures and like 9 of the VOS models.
4 of the signature models, and
so that's $44 grand,
and 9 of the fucking normal vintage Silverbursts.
And those are all around about, so that'd be a total of about 45. So you're talking just under 6 digits one palette of guitars, you know, and now naturally all of the social media detectives that are out there, almost all of them saying, well, clearly it's an inside job, clearly. Like, oh, well, I'm glad we're leveraging your, knowledge of law enforcement and detective work out there, people. You know, all you common people that are,
you commoners
working at, distribution centers for Amazon or whatever, or fucking working in a city government office or something. I don't know. But suddenly everybody becomes a goddamn professional that knows everything whenever shit like this happens. Clearly, inside job, clearly.
Well, it is. Don't you think it's amazing? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's amazing that they just got that palette, nothing else. But I feel like that palette was probably marked in some way, like, be real careful with these motherfuckers.
Maybe. But here's the problem. Number one, I don't know how that fucking truck was packed. Was it was it a normal semi-trailer like you usually see where they have to pallet load everything in with a forklift and shit like that? So therefore, if that was the last pallet and that just happened to be the one they grabbed, okay, that makes sense to me. Was it actually more of like a flatbed fucking lowboy kind of a fucking trailer to where everything is exposed outside of being probably covered by tarp, surely, but
yeah,
and they were able to kind of pick and choose what they were stealing that way? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know enough about it. I know enough to say, you know what? I don't know enough to fucking even really get into the details because there are no details outside of serial numbers.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if somebody's trying to sell you a Gibson Silverburst, fucking...
Don't be a dummy.
I would absolutely cross-check those fucking numbers with Sweetwater and make sure you're not buying a fucking stolen guitar. Because here's what the problem with stolen guitars are. It is still a stolen guitar even after you have paid good money for it.
Yeah. As with anything. It's like, oh,
sure.
You bought this and it was stolen.
Were you going to go out and buy a Trans Am and fucking, there's like, oh, it was stolen. Oh, do I get to keep the car? No. No, you don't get to.
Do I get my money back?
No. Don't buy stolen shit.
Okay, I have a suggestion.
Go drinking? Call it a day?
Well, that'd be a good idea. Actually, no, that's kind of along the same line. There's really not a whole lot to talk about MMA.
Oh, good.
Sure.
Yeah, no.
Gaethje, Khabib happened.
Yeah.
Khabib won. Khabib's whatever. I have a game. A guitar game.
Okay.
I'm going to name 2 guitars. We'll do 3 rounds of this. I'm going to name 2 guitars.
Okay.
And you have to guess which one sold at auction for more.
Okay. Yeah, I'm bad at this because I think of in terms of what the guitar means to me.
But no, absolutely. But, I'll give a brief rundown of each one.
Okay.
So we'll start off at the top of the list here. So we got Jerry Garcia's Tiger guitar, which was a custom-made guitar. It, let's see, Doug Irwin made it. And that's about all it gives. Thank you, Loudwire. So we got Jerry Garcia's Tiger guitar, and we got Eric Clapton's Blackie Strat.
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's see. Used it for about 15 years. But in the 80s, he shut her down. So Fender Strat and a guitar that Jerry Garcia had custom made.
Yeah. Here's the problem. It's because Jerry Garcia is dead and gone. There's not going to be another Jerry Garcia guitar that'll just start showing up outside of the shit we always see anyway.
Sure.
Somebody like, oh yeah, that's right. I bought this off of him back in the '60s when he was needing an 8-ball. But I really, really lean toward that. But the fact of the matter is, I know that Clapton's Blackie went for a fucking hell of a regal sum at auction. The problem is, I don't know what Jerry Garcia's went for. I mean, I want to say that Jerry Garcia's guitar went for a lot more, even though that guy was not known for being a fucking, a legend on the fingerboard the way that Clapton has been.
Right.
But Clapton's still alive, and that's why I legitimately think that probably, if I had to pick one, utilizing my means of deduction here and without the use of iocane powder, I'm gonna say Jerry Garcia's guitar.
Incorrect.
Okay. Well, good. Garcia, well, I'm actually happy that I'm wrong then. I'm happy about that.
But honestly, the gap is not that big. Jerry Garcia's guitar went for $957,500. Mm-hmm. And the Blackie Strat went for $959,500.
Oh, well, shit, dude.
So they basically sold for the same.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. We got Keith Richards' 1959 Les Paul
Okay.
versus Bob Marley's custom Washburn Hawk. Which that Bob Marley guitar wasn't really a guitar that he dug and used a lot, but it was a gift when his Tex gave him. So that's why he loved it.
Yeah. Again, when you start looking at it that way, it's like, all right, if there's one guy dead and one guy alive, generally the dead guy is going to command more. The biggest problem I have with Bob Marley is that not a known guitar aficionado by any means.
Yeah, not a busker, you would think.
I mean, I'm not saying that guy couldn't play guitar. I'm fucking sure he could. But Bob Marley was known for Bob Marley and the Wailers, and they were known for fucking putting out reggae, which is not exactly a preeminent fucking genre.
The Wailers don't get enough love.
Yeah,
it's all Bob Marley.
It is not a genre where it's like, man, check out that sweet riff.
Yeah, but until fucking white dudes took it and called it ska.
Yeah, had a lot more horns and
But it was a lot more rocking.
Yeah.
That's what you think. The 59 Les.
I'm going to go Keith Richards on that one.
Keith Richards' 59 Les Paul went for a mil solid. The Bob Marley custom Washburn, 1.2.
Wow. Well, and again, that shit never makes rhyme or reason.
Okay. And lastly.
Because you know what a guitar is worth? It's worth whatever some asshole wants to pay for it.
Like a fucking diamond. Diamonds are worthless if no one wants them.
Sure.
Wish people would start not want them so I can go get them on the cheap.
So, yeah, that's what I've been thinking about with an Aston Martin DB7 for a long time.
And finally, John Lennon's Gibson J160E acoustic electric. Voices. David Gilmour's Black Strat.
That's going to be John Lennon. All day long. All day.
Dude, you batted 0 for 3 in this game.
Really?
John Lennon's Gibson went for 2.4. Fucking David Gilmour's Black Strat went for nearly $4 million.
Holy shit. Wow.
And at the end of this list, one of the most expensive guitars ever sold, Kurt Cobain's Unplugged guitar.
See, and I was waiting for that one to come out because
I want to throw that because one, it just sold.
Yeah.
And two, we know it was sold for $6 million.
Yep.
I think we talked about it.
Yep. Yeah, it is. A guitar is worth whatever somebody's willing to pay.
$6 million, though?
I don't know. Somebody shows up wanting to buy that GNL I gave to Ruben for Christmas last year. Guess who's letting that thing go for some cash?
Funny thing is, Ruben probably be like, "Where's my half, bitch?" It's like, fuck that. Charging you in storage.
Yeah. Storage fees for the last 10 months.
I mean, that one was cool. It had fucking, pickups in it.
Yeah.
Above and below the resonator, it had pickups and it had the fucking knobs on the side.
Yeah.
So it was cool for that. If Kurt Cobain hadn't owned that guitar, it would be a curiosity.
Yeah. Be something like you see at a pawn shop every once in a while where somebody out batted their own coverage on
And by the way,
building shit.
This might not be a popular opinion. I don't think Kurt Cobain's a good guitar player.
No,
I don't think he needs to. He never needed to play. I don't think he ever needed to play guitar to begin with.
Right.
He could have been the fucking just a front man. Been all gnarly, been all crazy. Get some other dude to fucking play a guitar. I think they actually, when they toured, they had an extra guitar player.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Foo Fighters did.
All you got to do is go back and listen to anything with Kurt Cobain on it, and you're not going to be blown away by any of the guitar shit that he's doing. I'm telling you right now.
No, you're actually. I was more blown away by fucking Dave Grohl.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
Drums. Like, dude, that guy's gonna be a great drummer one day. Well, I was wrong.
That guy's going to become a great guitar player.
He's a great drummer, but a great fucking guitar player and a fucking front man. Well, God damn it, I got a bong to go break in.
Yeah.
Let's
Want to wrap her up?
Let's
call it a day.
Yeah, we're about to hit an hour.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to the picks and what you drinking this week.
Oh, whatever I can grab. Probably be getting me a pull off that here barrel.
Yeah. And it's starting to get a little lower, although I did put just under a gallon in it about a week ago.
Oh, yeah, no, it's flowing good now.
Yeah, because it was nearly empty. So let's see. I'm going to go straight up Budweiser, probably followed by a couple of Guinnesses later. I do it that way because if you do it the other way, you're not drinking much Budweiser.
You start with Guinness, and you're probably not going to be eating any food later.
Yeah. So going to go that route. Anything you're listening to today?
Man, I'm going to give the Black Sheep of the Fear Inoculum album some love. Culling Voices has really been growing on me lately.
That was one of your favorites initially.
Yeah, and then it was like, bloop, Numa, hello.
Yeah.
And then, but now it's like, man, Culling Voices is a good song because it's a It's a Maynard showcase.
Yeah. I'm still Invincible. Still my favorite off.
Oh, fucking A. Oh, absolutely.
Let's see. And I'm probably, I had mentioned Malice in Wonderland a while ago by Pace Ashton Lord. I'm probably going to go. As a matter of fact, I think I might just close us out with that one.
Well, at least we won't get popped for it.
And I would ask about picks, but you know what? There's a card tomorrow, but I don't
Say
know.
there's a burning building.
Yeah.
And you see a beautiful woman, like in a pink nightie, and a wiener dog.
So I'm assuming
in a room.
I'm assuming to be a Thursday then. Okay.
So it'd be a Thursday. Yeah, but this building's on fire, and you're the only one around to save anybody. Do you save the dog? Or do you save the big
You
titty
got to save
woman?
the dog, right?
What about the big titty woman?
Yeah, she's a human.
Yeah,
She
but
can look after herself.
you can't fuck the. Well, you can fuck the dog, but
Well,
you don't want to.
You could if you're a fucking weirdo.
Well, once we get into dog sodomy jokes, we should probably get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, back a couple weeks. All right.
Oh, the sweet joy of life.
Is it yeah, it is a couple weeks. We'll do a show 2 weeks from today. Then we'll skip a week because it'll be Thanksgiving, and then we'll probably be right at the bitter end of November or maybe early December.
It's beginning to look a lot like fuckheads.
Yeah. All right.
Everywhere you go.
All right. Well, we're going to call it a day. We got beer.
Yeah, let's
to
get
drink.
fuck out of
Anyway, enjoy the next couple weeks. We'll we'll be right back at it again here before you know it. Huh?
Come out to PvP. Talk to me about CBD.
Let's get back to some